Healing Guides, Part 11, Temporary Solutions Until Your Dreams. Let's title it that. If I find a better title, then I'll do that later. So, a lot of you right now, obviously, you might be unemployed, or maybe you want to leave that sort of job and you want to obviously go for your dreams and passions. But obviously, right, you need to take care of yourself financially in that meantime, right? So, here are just some things you can do in the meantime. Obviously, you're all grown adults, you're all smart people, you're teenagers, you obviously know how to get a temporary job. I'm just giving ideas on if it's not necessarily like a job, you know, what you can kind of like do. So one would be, it's called Cool Works, the word cool and then the word works. I think that's what it was. Either way, I'll put the links down below in the description for this audio recording. So coolworks.com, basically I have these jobs where most of them provide housing, free housing. You don't have to pay anything. And the employer would give you that. They're real employers. They're not like people that are hosting you. They're real employers, but, they actually offer you housing. A lot of them have resorts and hotels and retail, and they're like big, companies, but usually you don't hear about them as much. They're usually in remote places, but some of them are like sort of like maybe close to city. But sometimes you might just want to get away and be around nature. If you want that, that's awesome. You can do that. So they do provide like 95% of them provide free housing as you do that job. So it's not like they're going to give you the housing and not a salary. No, they'll pay you normally. Most of these jobs start at, I would say $14 an hour or higher. Maybe 13 is possible, but I've really seen a lot of them starting at 15 and going higher and higher. And they're just the jobs that you would expect, retail jobs, management jobs, tech jobs. They're all the jobs that you would think a company would need, all the type of different areas or departments. But they're usually, you know what I mean? It's not just service industry type of jobs. You can choose any industry you want, like travel, um, working with animals, working in the more like service part, like, you're a guest service employee, you're front desk, you're doing administrative jobs, etc. So, right, CoolWorks, if you go on that website, coolworks.com, all these jobs are available, and they're all summer jobs, but some of them, they extend. They're yearly, they can go on as permanent jobs. So if you want the sort of summer part of the jobs, okay, you got that. And if you want a job that's kind of longer, then you got that as well. And there you go, they have that housing. So a lot of them, they'll even help you pay for relocation. Um, but even if they don't, you can just look at the ones that do, because there's ones that help you relocate and ones that don't. But majority help you relocate because they know personally, right? Think about it. They know personally they're giving you free housing, right? Because they're asking you to come to their state, their location to do this job. So obviously they know you're coming from that place that you lived in, and they're not expecting you to have a home right away. So they're giving you that housing. So obviously they also pay for the relocation because you may not have money. So a lot of them do provide the relocation, but almost 90 something percent of them provide the actual housing, free housing. So it's really cool, and they still give you a salary. You can keep your money, save your money that way, and right there you go. Now you have money to work for your dreams, and you also have housing, free housing. Some of them could be dormitories, some of them could be like the sort of lodge they have, and they give you a room. Some are kind of weird, like camp type of environments. Um, but you have a lot of options. You can obviously pick the most healthiest one, the most safest ones, like ones that give you your own room, etc. And some what were they doing? I kind of don't remember right now, but there were other ways that you can get housing. um, so they'll support you basically in the sort of housing area when you go and take that job and stay in their location. So that's why it's good for people who maybe want to travel to a different state. Obviously this is only within the United States. So if you want to like go to that state, for example, I'm sure you can find it on CoolWorks because every state was on there almost. You can find, jobs in that state, and now you traveled also, right? You didn't just get a job, you didn't just get housing, you didn't just save money, but you also traveled. And again, they're all located in areas that are really beautiful and have a lot of nature, because they're all usually in that industry that is trying to, like, they're not all travel industry type of companies, but sort of like the services they're providing, you know, they kind of have like that sort of quality where they're trying to attract customers by having like beautiful resources and beautiful buildings, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain. So you're just gonna have a lot of beautiful locations that you can pick from, like lakes and mountain like places. It's not too remote, like dangerous. You're still close to the city. So Coolworks is a website you can go to, right, for that nice little short job, or you can make it short for yourself and take a nice permanent job. It's up to you. And they're different. They're not like the usual employers that we're used to, who would, bother you obviously if you want to quit right away, which is why people struggle so much to quit their jobs. These ones are like comfortable with you leaving. You get me? Because they're already posting it as temporary. They're already posting it for students, for people who just want a hiatus, a break, etc. So even if the job is permanent, they're not gonna make a big deal if you want to leave. You get me? Because they're comfortable with that atmosphere of just attracting people who are just traveling, who are just on the move, who just kind of don't know what to do, or who are just going through that phase, etc. They're just welcoming that type of person. They're not looking for that sort of structured employee that shouldn't leave. You get me? Okay, so you can try that, because constantly going on Indeed or Glassdoor or LinkedIn and looking for jobs is becoming exhausting right now. I obviously am looking at all the news and all the things happening in the world, and I see people just won't get accepted into jobs anymore, and that most of them, they're getting rejected from jobs that they're overly qualified for. You know what I mean? They might even go all the way down to what they did when they were really young, like cashier jobs, sales associate jobs, and they're not gonna get it. Because companies have lost their mind. They don't want to hire people anymore because they're saving money now, right? So COVID really is changing the world in a positive and negative direction, but mostly positive. It's giving a lot of people a chance to stop doing those jobs, stop being around those types of social people, or social, social circle. Stop being around, the sort of path that they were taking. A lot of them are coming back to God. A lot of them are leaving their immoralities, their bad lifestyles. A lot of people are just connecting with their past. They're connecting with people of the past. So there's just a lot of good stuff happening, okay? Don't be too scared of this. All the poverty, all, the fires, all the things happening, whether it's caused by humans or natural disasters, either way, it's just that moment that stuff has to happen in order to push everyone to rethink again. All those human beings who are going through those situations like wildfires or whatever, losing their homes. See, they didn't lose their homes to unemployment, right? But they at least lost their homes another way. So one thing that the demonic will do now is try to do everything they can to make almost the entire human race homeless and unemployed or have no money. Maybe you didn't have a job, but you just were making money some other way. You didn't necessarily work for someone. So they're going to take away your source of money, your source of income, the way you got your money. So poverty, right? Financial poverty, as well as housing poverty. People are going to lose their homes. I mean, you're not going to lose your home if you build it yourself, right? Okay, so they're going to think about that. They're going to be like, we made these people lose their homes because we kicked them out of their rentals. And we made the other people lose their homes who were in a mortgage or whatever, because we just burned their house down or whatever. But they're thinking, what about the others, the ones who actually own their home? They're not going to leave you alone. They want everyone to become homeless. Obviously, every human is not going to be homeless, but I just mean the majority. What they're going to do is they're going to cause fires and things like that, you know? They're going to do things to the environment. They're going to use humans in a bad way, the way humans could cause these things to happen, right? These natural disasters can happen because of the behaviors that humans are engaging in. So they're going to do that. They're going to use the humans they're possessing. Demons are possessing a lot of people. They're going to use them to then cause situations in the environment. They're going to use them to then cause situations in the environment. And now those humans were used to cause others to lose their homes. You get me? They maybe cause the fire, you know? So that's why you're seeing that. I mean, how is that logical? How can the human race all of a sudden within the same time, how can everyone lose their home? That's not logical. That's just not logical. Everyone has a different life. Everyone lives in a different environment. There's certain circumstances everyone is in. We're not all in the same situation in life. So why is everyone losing their home? So you should be asking yourself these questions, because we have a spiritual world that people are not tuned into that's causing all our problems. It's been doing that all these years. People just don't know. They don't care. They're not looking for some higher knowledge and meaning and purpose in life. Okay, well, it's going to force you to focus on it. The spiritual is going to attack you so much, it's going to force you to think about it. You get me? But on some point, God is going to, right? The power He gave these demons to cause all these problems for His creation, God is going to use that to actually push humans to Him. Again, you get me? Um, Only God knows what He does, but every day He's actually trying to guide His creation to come back to Him. God guide people to look for Him and stuff, but they don't. They're just too distracted. They're too misguided and distracted into the worldly material. You're just looking for job, money, relationship. You forget about God. Okay, so these situations, obviously, you would agree with me, will push you to God now. You don't have an option. A lot of these individuals won't have an option. They're going to be pushed to look for God now. But now they're like, oh, God, I lost my home. Right? Some humans are so weak and fragile. They only think about God when something bad happens. They don't really thank Him when they have anything. So, or they could just be ignorant. No one even taught them about God. Some people really do exist who are like that, who don't even hear anything. I know it's kind of rare, but you know what I mean by God. I mean like the actual original God. Um, So this is going to be helping a lot of people find God again, or go back to studying religion and trying to figure out which religion He sent down. And there's going to be a lot of discussion, a lot of fighting between religions. They're all going to be like, this is my, no, our religion is right. Our religion is right. Because before they were kind of being respectful and being quiet from each other. Um, but now, you know what I mean? People are going to be looking for spiritual answers. And religions will kind of, even though they're being pushed down, right? They're being pushed away by moralities, by governments, becoming highly controlling and immoral. Still, God is going to use that. Still, God is going to use that to actually uplift, the religious people to still speak up anyway. The basics of His teachings that they still uphold, despite their different religions. He's still going to push them to still instill in society those good values. So a lot of this poverty is going to happen. So you're going to have to think outside the box and look for solutions. Sorry, I kind of went in this long direction. I was talking about jobs and stuff. But everything I ever talk about, I'll have to bring in the spiritual aspect, which is causing all the problems in the world today. I'm not going to just be like, we have bad things happening in our world. But you should be thinking about why. Okay, that's the why. The spiritual, demonic have, gotten permission from God to attack us even more, because something is going to happen very soon. A huge change is going to happen. God is going to really do something. I'm just not going to tell you what that is, even though I kind of know some of it. But something good is going to happen, okay? Human beings are going to get some sort of guidance from God very soon. So a lot of bad stuff has to happen, because demons are kind of being allowed to rage like some beast. And a lot of things are just happening from God Himself to test you. He puts you through difficulty so you actually seek Him and look for Him. So that's kind of when some humans, like I said, will only look for Him. So use this time to seek God, right? Don't actually be like, lost my job, I'm home, I don't know what to do, I'm bored. Use that time. Use that time to gain knowledge. So Coolworks is one website. The other things you can do is a lot of you can do this. You can teach English abroad. So some of you don't have a degree, or you just can't get a job, okay, but you have one excellent skill. A lot of you have a bachelor's degree, but some also, the associates will work. You can just go teach English abroad in those countries that really want to learn. It's not like all of Europe speaks English, so you can go to Europe if you want to be around your race, if you're a European ethnic group, like Caucasian, which is what Americans are. They should call themselves Caucasian. I don't like the term American. But of course, if different ethnicities come to this country, okay, then they can use American for that. Fine. But technically, the white people here, right? I don't like to use the word white because it's a skin color and anyone can be light toned. Even Africans are light toned. And no, it's not, because they mix with Europeans, okay? God is the one who gave Africans a lot of different colors, okay? It's the only race that really has diverse set of body appearance. We all don't look the same. and our skin colors are not the same. Okay, but the envious, immoral side of the European race doesn't like that because it wants to keep that color only for its race, only for its race. It wants to use it as some sort of superior thing. Okay, so if another race has a quality that you use to act like you're superior, they have it, now you can't be superior, right? Okay, so that's why they get mad and say, well, it comes from us. They breeded with us. No, they didn't. God really does create Africans as different colors: beige, brown, and dark tone, and brown. Four, I would say, and very light, sort of light too. I just You can tell when someone's mixed. Goodness, they don't even look like a person. Their face looks weird. No offense, because it's just the races when they mix sometimes they makes a person look really creepy. Um. So, anyways, you can teach English abroad. You can teach English abroad. Um, there's this website if you want to do Taiwan, like Asia. If you want to go to Taiwan, it's a really nice country. Um, Hess, HESS. I think it's Hess Education, but I'll put the links down anyway. So they technically want a bachelor's, but they also are okay with an associate, I think, as well as the other sort of major, bigger brands that support you in the traveling and the certification. They give you like a certificate, like a TEFL certificate, teaching English, a foreign language speaker, etc. So all that stuff, I'll put the links down below. The companies that support you in that, or they support you in other things too. Studying abroad, they help you get resources into scholarships that you can take. Of course, you can also personally get scholarships from the United States. Almost every university and college has that study abroad stuff. Why not? Just take a break. Just take a semester. Just go abroad, enjoy yourself. Just take a semester off and go study. You know, take advantage of the knowledge before it's gone. I'm sure schools or something bad's gonna happen to schools very soon. Maybe they'll just get demolished soon, because you get me. So much stuff is happening to the housing, right? They're getting burned down. Um, Governments are doing things to just, take away your ability to even have a home and have money. Okay, so at some point, since they're ruining schools and they're putting so much perversion into children, their, academic environment, of course, then that's going to shut down schools. I still don't understand how, right? Humans are not doing what usually they're known to do. Don't you agree they would take all their kids out of school instead of protesting and stuff? Stop making our kids into transgender. Wouldn't you agree humans would normally just take them out of the school as a way to protest? But that hasn't happened yet. But I think at some point that has to happen, because obviously they're not going to listen to you. They're going to put so much perversion and sexual stuff and information into your kids' minds and their lives, and they're going to ruin them. Okay, you're going to have no choice at some point but to just go against the whole system and just take them out of school. Um, and obviously that has to affect universities and colleges, because teachers and everyone's gonna, right, not be there anymore. They're not gonna work there anymore. People are not gonna be able to, right, work. Who's gonna teach students? Students are gonna go look for other ways because they're gonna see the bad economic times coming, and they might just be. Of course, it's not gonna be everyone, right? No matter how poor the world gets, it's still gonna function to a degree that humans can still continue to go to school and still seek their careers. I just mean, something really bad could happen and actually just completely cancel universities and colleges. So take advantage of it before things go down, is what I'm saying. Take advantage of the knowledge and the abundance of so many scholarships and internships out there. Take advantage of it. Think about studying abroad. Maybe go into a country you always wanted to go to, but you don't have the money. Okay, well, at least you can use studying abroad as an excuse. The other way is volunteering abroad. You can also do Peace Corps or AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps is like within the United States. Peace Corps is usually going to Africa and Asia, but not really Europe. Um, and right, for a whole year, they'll give you housing and stipend, right? It's like a certain amount of salary. Um, and you'll volunteer. You'll do volunteer work. So you can do things like that. What else? There's a lot of people starting their side hustles or small businesses. You can do that too. Again, the biggest challenge would be that you don't have the money to start it. You can do essay contests or essay writing contests, as well as other types of contests out there. You can research online. and you can win money that way because they give you free money or grants if you win. Other ways that you can just win money, just research it, just Google it, just try to get free money to do, sort of like that saving. Also, you can get free buildings. Like there's nonprofits and organizations that will give you a building that they have, and you can use it for your business. You know, um, you're gonna have to do a lot of research though, because it's kind of hard to find it. If you send them like a letter explaining what you want to use the building for, they might donate a building to you. Um, there's a lot of homes that are really cheap. Like 5,000. I've seen it for some really nice big houses in the United States. Okay, I'm sure you can get some 5,000, even if some family or friends, you can ask everyone for 1,000. We can do some part-time job, get it. You can do whatever you can online to get some free money, like those essay contests. Um, okay, and now you reserve that money. You just bought a house. I'm sure it's not gonna just be the 5,000. I'm sure there's gonna be some, sales or some stuff they will want to add on to that, like taxes. But it's still 5,000. Um, So there's a lot of homes like that are actually cheap that you can just buy 5,000. At least it's less than 10,000. Okay, and you can use that house as your sort of warehouse, as your sort of building for the business. You get me? Because you need a building sometimes. And you're like, what am I gonna do? You can remodel it. Or you can use it any way you want. Who cares? People are not gonna judge you. Or you see, you don't even have to bother yourself with sort of like the direct customer service. Like, oh, I want to do a restaurant, but I'm not gonna turn my house into a restaurant that's not healthy or comfortable or good looking enough for customers. No, you can do like delivery. You can just use the house to cook the food, to prepare everything, and now you're actually creating more jobs, which I'd advise you do by getting rid of the direct customers coming into your store. Two, you're getting rid of that problem that always happens when people fight, where customers harass employees and they get good people fired. You don't have to deal with that now. Don't even let customers and employees see each other. You get to protect employees. They get to keep their job because they don't have to interact with customers, and you get to, this is your choice obviously, since they have to still interact as coworkers, create that healthy environment, ethical environment, put cameras everywhere so no one has to lose their job because someone lying about them or someone trying to touch them and stuff and being perverted. um you get me? So do that. Increase jobs by creating delivery jobs. That way, you make the food, the employees just take the food, people order online, and now, see, you're able to still do that kind of business, like service based, without having to have that sort of cool building. So those are some ideas. If I think of anything else, I'll add it as well. But there's a lot of resources online. Um, there's some countries also that will pay you a certain amount of money. If you want to come to their country and start a business, they're not going to necessarily pay you to come to their country. I really did a lot of research, and that's a lie. They're going to give you money for something else. But you get me? They'll still give you money at some point. You might have to have some savings first to go travel yourself and do what you need to do. While other companies actually said they'll give you some money. It's just so small, like 250. What? What are you going to do with 250? But you might have to deal with sort of the relocation cost yourself. But when you do get there, they'll actually give you some money at some point. So research all that, because some countries, they're running out of people because people are leaving, right? And they just need others to come in and take that place. I even saw how Japan, they were saying you can get a free house, which they call Akiya, Akiya. Some are completely free and some you pay a little bit. And it really is true. I did enough research. But you just may not want to go to Japan, obviously. It's just too much cultural clash. You grew up in these types of countries, or European or African. But obviously someone may not mind going there, sort of being in a quieter place. And still there's a lot of tornadoes and stuff like that. Not tornadoes. What was it? Was it earthquakes? Yeah, earthquakes. So it depends if you actually want to live in that country. So things like that. Just think about it. Also, you can start an online business by using the small amount of money you have, right? A couple of $100 to actually rent a lease office. Office space is what they call it. Not lease office, sorry, office space. So within the United States, there's a lot of office spaces. You can rent them, and now you actually have a nice professional office that you can use as your work. Okay, you can go there, be productive. They have mail service for you. They do all the sort of front desk stuff that your own company, the front desk staff, would do for you. Like manage, get mail for you. What else do they do? I can't remember the rest, but they give you a lot of nice services. It's not just the office room to yourself. You can select large or small. Usually, the ones I did in the past that I rented, one I paid, it was kind of a bit expensive. It was in Arizona. Um, they're called Expansive. You can always check that company out if they have any other locations in the United States. 300, I think, for a month. Or was it 2 months? I don't remember. I'm sorry, but it's not that bad. Some could be $100 to 300 basically for a month. And again, I'm talking about someone who like is homeless maybe, or someone who really needs a nice office location to start e-commerce. Like you want to sell something like, like other people's products. You already just go around a store and get a clothing or shoes or whatever. You just want to sell that on Amazon or whatever. Okay. And I recommend you just kind of use your own social circle or community to tell them about your business and sell it that way instead of like Amazon because it's already overcrowded market. You might give up then. Put your stuff on Amazon too, but try to create your own following. Try to let people know about you in some other ways. And now you have a following, they'll just come to your office, they'll just buy from you, etc. And also go on your Amazon website, etc. I mean, website link. So yeah, you can lease an office space, use that as your sort of warehouse because you sometimes need a warehouse and that's why you can't start anything. Um, or you can even build your own house. If you look up land for sale online, they're really cheap. Some go literally from 400, 500 to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It's up to you. You can go really low, less than 1,000. You can find it. Nice plot of land. Like you can put like 2 houses in it. Okay, and then now put whatever you want in there. Put a shed in it. There's already sheds that you can just buy from Home Depot and other places like Amazon. But you can build your own shed too. It's really cheap. You already see sheds all the time. They're really small. They're really basic. Okay, you can put them on top of each other and make it bigger. Other things you can do is get a container home, right? You get those, they're called storage containers. Just those large containers that usually those big trucks are carrying products in. Not the front part of the truck, but the back part. It's like a rectangle shaped container, metal. It's metal. Yeah, you can literally get that. Some of them are online, they're free. Sometimes they're just giving it away because they've been used too much. Some have a couple of dollars. Some are kind of like, right, 1,000 or 800 or whatever. Okay, you can use that now. Remodel the inside using basic small, tools that you bought from a store. Even Dollar Tree, has a lot of the basic things that big retail stores have or companies have. And now you can remodel the inside, and now you have a nice warehouse or storage, or you can turn that into a home because you already bought the land. You get me? You can just build things like restaurants or toilets or whatever in that container storage and fulfill the dwelling, rules or regulations that every state has. And now it's a dwelling that they will allow to be called a home because they're not going to allow you to live there, which shows the amount of demonic control that demons have over the human race. You can't even go to the earth that God Himself created. A group thinks they have the right to control it and tell you where to live. And excuse me, if the place is free, no one owns it. I should be able to just go there and take it. But these governments are restricting the human race so much because of that demonic side. They're humans like us. They obviously cannot walk around thinking they have the right to tell us what to do because we're the same species. You can't control each other. It's the demonic that are giving them those qualities of acting like God. So you have to be smart and create exit ways. So I'll share the links, all these ideas. Take care of yourselves.